Hello everyone, this is David Luftig, the Agricultural Sciences Librarian here at Washington State University. So here I am on Web of Science, which is a very powerful, scholarly, mostly science-y database. There's a lot of fantastic tutorials regarding how to use Web of Science, and I'll post some links to those. But I just wanted to show you sort of how I use it. So this will just sort of be an impromptu demonstration regarding how I use Web of Science and what my method is. If you use Web of Science, you definitely want to connect either through the library by going to the databases and then W, and then Web of Science, or you can go through one of the library guides as well. We can select our databases that we want to search. I'm going to search Web of Science Core Collection and not really go through what all of these other databases are, but you can search stuff like conventions and data and lots of other things. But I'm just going to keep it with the Core Collection, which is the default. So here we are with the keywords that we created in our previous videos. When I'm first starting to research a subject, I try and go as narrow as possible. And what that means is I personally do title searches first. And this is totally your call, whatever works best for you. But I figure that if my keywords are in my title, chances are that's a pretty relevant research article for my project. We have other options that we can search. We can search author or publication name like the journal. Organization enhanced would be like your university, like Washington State University. Topic would be a predetermined subject. So it would be like mechanical engineering or wheat harvesting, and we'll explore that a little bit. All fields is the most broad. So I start at title, which is the most narrow, hoping to find a really good research article, because once I find one, I can find many, and I'll show you that. But all fields is the broadest. That's going to search everything in the article record. Okay, so I'm going to do title search first. So here we have 249 results, which actually isn't that many, and we can actually sort through those. But sometimes we have thousands, and it can be really helpful to find ways to sort through those easily and efficiently. So let me show you some different ways that I do that. So we can sort via the date by clicking this, which is actually how it's already sorting these records. So we can see that we have records that are from this year. These are the newest records on top. These are the newest research articles on top. If we click again, we'll get the oldest records on top. So here it goes back to 1989. We can also sort by time cited. So these are the most cited articles that the search returns. We can see these times cited over here. So this article has been cited 605 times. Even has this highly cited paper trophy next to it. So that tells me that this is a very influential, seminal article in this field. There is a bias that we should all be aware of, that older articles tend to get cited more because they've been around longer. But we do want to pay attention to those times cited. I'm going to get back to this in a moment. We can also sort by publication years. So say we just want the last 10 years, we can select those or exclude those. So here we have just the last 10 years of publications. The Web of Science categories I don't find to be specific enough to be really useful, so I don't use those. Document types can be helpful. So articles are going to be essentially peer-reviewed articles, or at the very least coming from peer-reviewed journals, scholarly journals. Every once in a while you might click an article and find something like an editorial or a book review or something weird like that. But for the most part, all the articles will be peer-reviewed articles. If you ever had trouble deciding if an article is peer-reviewed, you can always ask a librarian. But if you find an article that's only like 1 or 2 pages, chances are it's an editorial or some sort of book review or something like that. And there's one more feature that I use a lot, and I use this especially if I get way too many results to sort through. And this feature is the search within results feature. And it's going to search within the entire catalog record. So any instances of the word that appears in the entire record, it will locate. It's not going to be just a title search. So I'm going to search future with that wildcard, and here it returns 97 results. It's filtered those 185 down to 97. Okay, I'm going to back up a little bit and say that Web of Science is really great at curating their resources. So you won't find real junk science in Web of Science. If you do find something that's fraudulent, it has already fooled many people. So it's not necessarily like Google Scholar open access where everything is cataloged and there is no curation, there is no oversight. Web of Science, we pay a lot of money for that oversight. Okay, so here is why I really love Web of Science and why I always say that if you can find one really good article, you can find a lot of really good articles. So here's what I'm talking about. Okay, so here I am sorting through results. And let's say that I find an article that looks really close to what I'm studying, something I'm really interested in. And let's say this is it. So here I am in the article record. To provide just a little background, here is the abstract right here. This is going to be the summary of the article. Here are the keywords I mentioned previously. We can click on any of those and it should take us to articles that utilize these subjects. But these keywords are really only as good as the author or publisher who enters these keywords for this article. So if I want the full text of this article, I can go either to Find It WSU or look up full text. But here's what I wanted to show you. So over in our right-hand side, we have our citation network. And this is huge in Web of Science. This is what I really love. So we see that this article has been cited 34 times and it cites 53 different articles. So essentially what this is saying is after this article was written, 34 different research articles have cited this. And I can actually go and look at those and sort through a list and see what's useful, what's salient to my research, click on the PDF full text, or I can go back to the citation network and see who cited that new article. So that's a dive I like to do. There's a lot of different ways you can discover materials in Web of Science, and I really encourage you to just poke around and take advantage of it, ask questions, watch some other tutorials. But this is really my method. Create useful keywords, search, find articles that are relevant, and start going through those citation networks. Have any questions? Contact me or the university libraries.